floods in Pakistan, wildfires in California and in France's Gironde, heat waves and drought. Climate disasters are intensifying. For 25 years, the International Climate Change Conference has had one main objective: keeping climate imbalances in check. In 1997, the Kyoto Protocol was signed. 38 industrialised countries agreed to reduce carbon emissions, a world first. 18 years later, at COP27 in Paris, more history was made. 195 countries committed to limiting global warming to 1.5 degrees by the end of the century, but 7 years later the planet is already on the way to a rise of 2.8 degrees. So do the conferences serve a purpose?
No country can fight climate change on its own. So, for better or for worse, we need to work together to define common mechanisms. And that's why we need to meet every year to take stock.
The negotiations are all about minimal compromises. The COP's detractors criticise the non-binding nature of decisions taken or commitments not kept, like the aid to developing countries announced in 2009.
We promised them 100 billion per year to adapt. It's not even to reduce emissions, but to adapt. 15 years later, they've done nothing, barely scraped 80 billion euros.
It's a familiar story of disappointment, but it's also an opportunity for those countries most vulnerable to climate change to raise their voices. One of the issues of this year's COP is reparations for irreversible damage, but experts are also hoping that the conference will not get completely paralysed by competing issues.